That is a lovely fish. And I'm going to take it. Here is the bass. Now, you can see where I dispatched it, and to bleed it, all I did was I just took it through the gills and bled it off. After that, when I gutted it, all I did was I opened it up from its backside up to almost underneath its gills and emptied out all of the guts from inside of its belly cavity. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to take all the scales off the fish. Now some people will use the back of a knife. I always just use a little teaspoon, because there's absolutely no way of you cutting yourself with a teaspoon, is there? Now rather than just going to town and firing scales everywhere, what I like to do is by using a pail of water, if you scrape the scales off underwater, just get hold of the fish's head and you're rubbing backwards from the tail towards the front under the water. The scales come off underwater and don't fly everywhere, and then at the end when you're finished, all you do is just tip the water somewhere. There. This side here has been completely scaled, whereas that side still has them all on. You can see the difference, can't you? To there. This one has no scales left on this side. So now, turn it over and do that side. No more scales anywhere on that fish. It is easier to scale a fish before you gut it, because the belly cavity is full. There you go. There's now no scales left on there. All of the scales are at the bottom of here. There they are, look. If there are any scales that I've missed, generally the knife will now find them. All I've done there is I've just started at the top, run through to the backbone, and now I'm just following the shape of the bones. All I've done is by tucking inside of the rib cage, all I've done is shaved off a little tiny bit of meat. Now I did miss 2 bones there, but you can very easily just shave them out like that. There, actually, I don't know how well you can see it. There are 2 little worms. Now, you will always get worms in wild fish. Wild fish have got worms in them. It's just part of it. It won't cause you any harm so long as you freeze them fully, or if you cook them fully. And there, look, there's no meat left on that. That just follow the rib cage and follow the spine. Just flip it over. Do the same on that side. There's your two bass fillets. Now there will be a couple of little tiny pin bones into here. Now I can take those out. You can either V-bone it by taking out just a little tiny strip of meat, like that. And that's got any of the little pin bones in. or you can pluck them up with tweezers. Now all I'm going to do is I'm just going to shave off that fin, make it a little bit neater. There you go, 2 perfect bass fillets. And what is left, there's hardly any meat on that, but I'm going to keep this and we'll put this in the freezer, and then Jim is going to use this into making stock. That's a better example of pin boning. Now look, you've taken out a fraction of meat and that's got all the bones in it there. See daylight through that. And we've come round to Jim's. Now I have brought the bass. I caught this in a previous session, and that was caught before the bass limit started. All I could do at the time was I just scaled off the sides of the fish, filleted them, and then vac packed them. Now these have been defrosting, they're fully thawed out now, and we have, what are you doing now, Jim?
Just making a start on the veg. I was just whipping the strings out of these sugar snaps. So
they are very
nice
snappy.
Crunchy. So I'm going to boil a kettle, put some medium egg noodles to soak. We will fry some onion, these long red peppers. I probably have 2 onions, a pepper, a couple of red chilies. I'll peel the ginger and cut most of that down into very fine sort of matchsticks, which we will stir fry. We'll add some sliced spring onions, pak choy.
I don't think I've had that before, so this will be something new for me.
Oh, it's lovely. We'll just take the root off, cut it down into halves, and each half into quarters or thirds, and a liberal splash of soy sauce. You could pimp the stir fry up with all manner of things, flavoured oils or seasonings, whatever you wish. But we're going to let the bass reign supreme. Before I start the fish wrap, get all the vegetables ready to go. Gas is on. I'll just have those pans on a low light so that they are heating. I want the onions reasonably thick. We'll get all the vegetables on the cook because they will take longer than the fish. Let's have a look at one of these.
Now fingers crossed there should be no bones in there.
Haha!
No. I'm sure if we gave Carol a piece she would find it straight away.
Carol would find one.
I'm sure she has some in her pocket and she just sticks them in there.
Yeah, before she lets the sun in the morning she tells it to wipe its shoes.
If you can't get your own bass, like say for instance at this moment in time there is a bass closed season. This fish was caught before the closed season started and I've had it in the freezer. If you can't get it, you can still get farmed bass at the supermarket. Now probably the fillets will be a half, if not 2/3 the size of these ones, but they're still good. Yeah.
The cooking process would be the same, maybe just not quite so long.
You're just shredding the seeds out of them, are you?
Yeah, I just pick the seeds out and we want to try and keep everything, that's the sort of same dimensions as the onions. Maybe another small one. Gives a bit of vegetable variety and
nice colour as well.
Yeah, they're well flavoured, these long peppers. They're very nice to stuff and roast.
What do they taste like in comparison to bell peppers then?
Subtle difference.
Not as sweet.
Subtle differences. Have a sweeter, I would probably say.
Yeah, more flavoursome.
And what else have we got to do? Ginger. to make this slightly easier.
I was looking
to chop.
I was looking for a rude shaped ginger,
Were you,
but
John?
Hannah wouldn't let me get it.
Spoilt your day.
I know.
She's ruined your day, John. Hannah. Honestly. One way of doing it would be just to take that and rub it through a box grater on the coarse side. So we've got a nice flat side. Get rid of those seeds.
Oh, I do love that smell. The really satisfying crunch coming out of it as well.
Lovely, isn't it? Yes. And as you say, the aroma is just lovely.
There was a restaurant that me and Hannah went to. There was a restaurant that Hannah and I used to go to when we were in Houston, in Texas. Remember Genghis Grill, where you make your own. That was I don't know if anyone's ever been there before. You pretty much pick your own plate. You go down a conveyor belt and you pick your own ingredients, and they stir fry it up for you at the end. And I used to really enjoy that. I used to put more ginger in mine than anything else. I used to think it was delicious.
There used to be a restaurant like that on top of Clapham High Street.
Oh yeah.
Opposite Clapham Common.
You just go down. You go down with like different size bowls and pick your ingredients, like pick your protein, pick your veg, pick your spices, and then put them.
Oh yeah, fabulous idea.
Well, they had it in Falmouth, didn't they? Kevin and Lynn.
They did indeed.
Steps.
Hang on. Yeah, Steps. That's right. Kevin, if you're watching, good fishing story. That.
I'm glad you've given that some context, because I had no idea what you were going.
Oh dear. Oh, I'm going to be all of a titter now. I'm going to be useless in the kitchen today. Fanny Craddock kitchen. What else do we need? Oh, garlic.
For anybody who doesn't know who Fanny Craddock is, I'll put a picture in here now.
I put a whole bulb of garlic in. I gave it to you, John. I didn't put it.
It's all
I thought it
right.
was in the bag. It's in the orange bag.
Might be stuck in a corner then. Perhaps it's me.
It's not in there.
No.
I might have come out it back at car.
Soldier in the catering corps. There was an instructor who liked to show off to new apprentices, and he would get us to bone out an entire chicken,
You're just taking a.
and he would then, as a prep for a class of new intake, he would then push the bones back into the carcasses of the chicken and make it look whole, and then
What,
he
like
would
whack it with his
show-
hands?
to show off to the new boys. He would just put his hand up the gusset, wiggle his fingers, pull all the bones out, and then the would collapse. Your removing peeled garlics from a whole clove has an element to me of pre-preparation.
Yeah, well, I found someone debunking it already.
Anyway, I'm sorry to pop your balloon, John, but I'm just taking...
To give this story a little bit of a context. I'd seen something on, it was either Instagram or TikTok, and someone was like pulling cloves of garlic out and they were skinned, and I was like, well, give it a try. Anyway, apparently I've been proved wrong.
It didn't.
I couldn't do it, but that doesn't mean that I wasn't doing it wrong.
No. Anyway, just
I quite like the way you do it, because I like that crunch.
yeah. Well, I want these bulbs whole, because all I'm doing is finely slicing them. Hear the razor sharp edge of that nice colliding with the wood fibres, John. Turn the heat up, and we'll a generous kitchen spoon of oil in there. Generous bit of oil in there.
That's sunflower oil, just any vegetable oil? Or
Well,
have you got a
sunflower
preference?
oil would be for me. Slightly
What is that shining through there?
sunshine.
Don't look at it.
Yeah. Don't talk about your friend anywhere.
Frightened away. Do we need to put the blinds up? Or we got too much light?
You're all right.
So a nice little sizzle. We'll just give those a couple of minutes before we add the ginger and the garlic. Oh, righty.
Jim absolutely does not know his own strength. You did say earlier, you said you'd be no use today. You just. So yeah, you'll have to wait until next Christmas to get another one. You say you're going to sweat those, so you're going to put a lid on.
No, I'm just going to let them go as they are. We don't want them soft. We want a little bit of crispy.
Right.
John, just reach around and flip the kettle on.
Oh, that's got quite a fragrance to it, hasn't it?
Lovely.
It's not like I was expecting.
Just going to give these just a little bit of residual dirt on there.
It's all right. It's just a little bit more B12.
Yes, indeed. Rinse out any gritty bits.
Yeah, well, lovely colour then.
Right, so ginger and garlic going in.
So that was it was one fresh garlic stalk, wasn't it, of about, I don't know how big it is, this big.
It was
And how many cloves of garlic? 3?
I put 3 in there. Right, kettle is boiled. This is the pan for the egg noodles. I'm sure a variety of people have different ways of doing egg. So we'll just
give them a haircut.
take the heads, give them a haircut, trim the roots off. And they're nice and clean. So just going to...
So roughly chopping these as well then?
Yeah, just on a slight diagonal. They can go into the ginger and garlic. That out of it. Just trim that bit of belly fat out.
That's it. When I was doing the fillets, you can very easily just take the belly meat off because there's next to nothing in it. And usually you'll find that if you're ever doing wild fish, the belly meat is usually where you get your worms. So don't feel bad about trimming this belly piece off.
Just season that side first. Bit of ground white. Right, heats up.
See them with cracked there, can't you? Don't know if you saw it then when you laid them down, they retracted, that's the skin retracting on the other side. There's some wonderful colours in there.
They are. Turn those over.
You just fold them into wilt them down, do you?
Yes.
Someone in the previous video was asking you about the types of pans that you've got, Jim. I mean, I know there are a mixture of different types of pans there, but which...
Hannah bought me this one for a birthday or a Christmas present. I think this was a Sainsbury's.
Yeah, I've got that one.
My go-to shop for cookware, particularly when they have their sale on, like now. The cooking pans are brilliant. This one was a birthday present last year, or the year before.
That's the,
Where did you get that?
I got that one in Mallet, but I think you can get them on Amazon and get that.
This is brilliant. I call it the granite pan. You don't actually need any cooking oil, but you can use steel utensils.
Is that Xylis?
I haven't got my goggles on.
Yeah, Xylis.
And my saucepans are Stella. These are just
Stella Maris.
No, just, no, Stellar, not Stella, Stellar. They are still available. I've only seen them now with soft grip handles.
And then you can't put them in the
You
oven.
can't put them in the oven. Sugar snaps, in.
Go on, quick, get them in there. Nobody will notice.
So busy chatting about
About
Nondescript.
me distracting you from stuff and forgot to put the chilies in.
they'll go in now.
At what point in time would you put those in ideally? Just before you put the pak choy in?
With the, with the garlic and the thyme. Right, let's
You're
take
just gently folding those, aren't you?
the, just stir them out. Turn the heat off. They can just finish in their own residual heat now. And let's flip this fish over. You can see where it cooks on the extremities already. And the skin is lovely. Okay, turn the heat off that pan now, John. So, just going to bring the noodles up to the boil.
I'll get out your way.
Spring onions in.
Is there a reason why you put everything in that order? Is it, does
Yeah.
some things wilt out better than others? Does,
Yeah.
does some take more time than others?
That's it, precisely. The onions and peppers take the longest. Ginger and the garlic, we want to get the flavours out. The chilies have just gone in now, a little bit later than I would have liked, but they'll still, we'll get the heat as we eat them, rather than sort of being dispersed through the dish. So the sugar snaps are in, we still want a snap on those. And the same with the spring onions. I'm just going to drain the noodles. The hot water will go in the bowl. It'll keep the bowl up for
Okay.
serving. Water out of there. Get our noodles out of there. Oh, stop filming. It's breaking. Liberal. I like lots of soy sauce. Again, that's the sort of thing you can add less at the beginning and more at the table if you wish. Turn the gas off. Put this into here.
Oh, that ginger's coming through. Yeah, if you tip it all, the noodles would all just come out at once and you end up with like a cake, wouldn't you? With everything on top.
So I'm just going to pop those on the top, and then we've got our oily juices over that. And we'll take that to the table. And here we go. There we go. John, plates warm.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, there's a soy sauce. Top of the fish might appreciate a little.
Presentation wise as well, it looks like something you would receive in a restaurant, doesn't it? It smells amazing. It's the ginger which is what I can smell the most. You get these little rabbit carlings out of the way. And the skin on the other side is just lovely and crisp.
Do you want just a little?
That's perfect, yeah, thank you.
That is delicious. That is lovely fish, that.
Mm-hmm.
What do you reckon, Jim?
Oh, absolutely delicious. The fish is just perfect.
Kept really well in that
Turn the-
backpack.
When we turn the fillets over, we had the flesh side down for just a minute, but I turned the heat of.
It's perfect.
And just, whilst we were getting ready, it had a couple of minutes to rest in the pan, which makes a big difference. Despite all those lovely fresh flavours, the chilli and all that ginger, you can still, the main taste in your mouth is the bass.
You were saying as well that we might have happened upon a better way of putting the chilies in because
yes, I'm going from now on in stir fries.
it wasn't an accident. Jim's mentioned in other videos that there are no accidents. There's just ways of learning, isn't there?
Indeed, I thought it was going to be an error, but no, I shall just put the chilies in last because you still get the ping from the chilies, but only when you eat them.
It's not in everything, is it?
Chili-fied.
Yeah.
And,
Well, maybe wouldn't smash the pepper grinder.
For the
rabbit,
kick of the
rabbit carlings. No thanks.
Oh no, that's
You've polished off 2 plates of that. Rapid, haven't you?
and everything.
Should have kept the other
Layering
foot out,
the
shouldn't
cooking. The pak choy is nicely wilted and perfectly edible. The onions and the peppers are soft and juicy. The sugar snaps are crisp. The spring onions are crisp. So you get a variety of.
Like Anna said, lots of nice clean flavours, isn't it? Nice crunchy.
Indeed, but I finished for a few minutes and been relaxing and resting myself and mind in the sink with the dishes. The predominant taste in my mouth is those delicious bass fillets.
Well, I hope you enjoyed joining us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Absolutely delicious.
Thank you for the fish.
All the very best, Ellen. See you later.
Bye. Bye.